Welcome back to my YouTube channel, Horse Racing Marc. This video will be dedicated to all the top class action that happened at Epsom this weekend. We're going to go through the 3 top races at Epsom. All right, we're going to review how it all unfolded. The Coronation Cup, the Epsom Oaks on the Friday, and the big one on the Saturday, the Epsom Derby. All right, let's get into it straight away, okay? Let's not mess around. We're here to get into it. So, Friday, the 6th of June, the Coronation Cup. And this is a race I was quite surprised with the outcome, all right? As we all know, Calandagan was a hot favourite. Mickaël Barzalona took the ride. And this is a jockey that's famous for the gift, the meme of sticking his hand up when he won the Derby on the line, okay? And this was a strong favourite, 8-13. Was even money in the morning, Friday morning, was strongly backed into 8-13. And the eventual winner was Jan Brueghel, ridden by Ryan Moore, trained by the king, the GOAT, Aidan O'Brien, okay? And I'm going to be brutally honest with everyone. I thought the favourite was the likely winner, and I'm not one for bigging up favourites. I wouldn't have been a backer at 8-13, and I'm certainly not after timing, but I don't tip up favourites. Just looking at the race on Thursday evening, I thought the favourite was the likeliest winner. And I did have question marks regarding Jan Brueghel, why this horse was in this race, because this horse had previously won the Ledger. And I thought it was a bit disappointing at the Curragh, but improved dramatically in this race here to get the job done. And a lot of Aidan O'Brien's horses have improved dramatically at Epsom and in recent weeks as well, when at the big stage he gets them primed, okay? And I know there was a lot of people on social media that blamed Mickaël Barzalona for Calandagan not winning. And I've watched the race back 10 times, and I don't think he could have done any more. He's on a horse that barely gets a mile 4, and he's up against a horse that stays further. And Ryan Moore was very smart. They went a frenetic gallop, continuous set, really strong fractions under Wayne Lorden. And Mickaël Barzalona really had to sit and suffer out the back. And I'll be honest with you, I don't think Calandagan handled the course, the undulations, and some horses just don't perform at Epsom. And I think this is a case here where Calandagan on a flat track, say Doncaster or York, would beat Jan Brueghel over a mile 4. But it's a very smart ride by Ryan Moore. He's waited for the second to come close, and he's just out-battled him. And there was question marks about Jan Brueghel's head carriage last time out, but he was very game. He's very game on Friday and got the job done in the Coronation Cup. You know, there's a lot of people crying on social media, blaming Mickaël Barzalona, but these people are mug punters. And whenever you see these types of people, especially with odds-on favourites, 8-13, they're not winning punters. Whatever they say, do the opposite, and that's a strong strategy to make money, okay? Do not follow these people. Do not take financial advice from them, okay? But Jan Brueghel is a good winner, okay? And on this performance, could improve again and could be a likely contender for the Ledger again this season. Okay, so the Coronation Cup is covered. And then we get on to the second big race that happened on Friday, the 6th of June, the Epsom Oaks. And this one again was dominated by the GOAT, Aidan O'Brien. The horse that everyone was talking about going into this race was Desert Flower, who was very impressive. Well, she was very impressive in the Guineas at Newmarket, the 1,000 Guineas. And the doubt behind her, and again, this is not after timing, the doubt behind her and the question mark was, would she stay? And if she stayed, she would win because she's a classy type. And if you look back at the performance at Newmarket, I had backed her personally, anti-post 7-2. She got smashed all the way into even money. We did send this out to our private Telegram group, our private premium service. And if you want to be a part of that, you should be, because we've been in sensational form the first week in June. We've had 4 massive winners. Big winner on Friday, big winner on Saturday, 6s and 10-1. We're absolutely flying, all right? We're flying, so check that out. Link is in bio, all right? But back onto the Oaks. Desert Flower, we tipped her up at 7-2. She went off even money. Again, just think about that. If you're backing 7-2 shots that go off even money consistently, you're going to win. That's all you need to do. Just get the value, okay? But My doubt about her was that the fractions weren't very strong at Newmarket, and you need to stay, you need stamina to win over a mile and a half at Epsom, okay? And Aidan O'Brien, the way that he sets these up, he makes them go hard, just like the Coronation Cup, just like the Oaks, just like the Derby. He will basically exploit any horse's stamina doubts by going hard, all right? He wants a true run race, which will suit the Ballydoyle runners. And the way that things unfolded on Friday is Wayne Lorden again. He's a man, he's got a great clock in his head. He went hard on Whirl at 15-2. And the eventual winner, Mini Hawk, under Ryan Moore, again trained by Aidan O'Brien, just sat second. And these two dominated from the outset. And one thing I would say about Desert Flower, who was an eventual third, she clearly didn't handle the course. And I still think there's question marks if this horse stays or not, because it wasn't like the horse was stopping at the finish. Did get into a bit of a barging match with the eventual fourth. We might take the long way. Joseph O'Brien's runner was always stuck in the inside, just couldn't get out. I think on a flat track at York or Doncaster, similar to the French Raider that went down in the Coronation Cup, this horse could get a mile and a half. But obviously Charlie Appleby will know more than me. But the eventual winner, Mini Hawk, found plenty. Obviously improved an absolute ton from winning at Chester. And this horse at Chester found plenty as well. So it's a similar performance, but again, improved a ton, just like Jan Brueghel did in the Coronation Cup. Mini Hawk, I think this horse has a ton of potential. Won its last 3 races. Looks like a horse that you certainly want to keep on side. And does have some big entries later on in the season. But Desert Flower, the favourite who finished third, I would give this one another chance. But on day 1 at Epsom, on the Friday, Coronation Cup and the Oaks, Aidan O'Brien is cleaning up, the master, the GOAT, as they say. So that wraps that up, okay? I like the first 3 there. I think they're all good animals. And Joseph, the top 4. I think it was a good race. I think the formula is quite strong. And then we get on to the Saturday, the big one, as they say. The Epsom Derby, right? The big race that everyone wants to win. Every jockey, trainer, owner, everyone wants to win. The glamour, all right? And it was same, normal service resumed. Aidan O'Brien cleans up again, but did he win with the one that was fancied? I'm not so sure. There was a ton of money for Delacroix, Ryan Moore. This one went off 2-1. There was a big drift on this one earlier in the week. It was as big as 4-1 in places, but got hampered halfway around. Didn't have the best position early on, and just didn't really turn up. Was finished 9th, was beaten 16 lengths in the end. And obviously Ryan Moore did say after the race the colt did suffer interference in the run, but there was a few of them that did suffer interference in the run. Pride of Aris was another one, was heavily supported, was tailed off in the end, beaten 15 lengths, got smashed at the start, race over. That would be a horse that I did have my doubts about, Pride of Aris, and I did put that in similar content podcasts that I did. It's a big ask having 2 runs as a colt stepping into the Derby, a big field. York's a big track. You've got plenty of time to settle and finish and show your ability, but only 2 runs. Some horses don't handle Epsom. Big fields, you get a bump, you're at the back of the field, you're in trouble, and it's difficult to make the ground up, especially an inexperienced runner. But I thought it was a good race, and the eventual winner, Lambourne, was trained by the GOAT, Aidan O'Brien, ridden by Wayne Lorden. All the races we've covered, Wayne Lorden did the same tactics, was in front, trying to get the sectionals right, a true run race. But this time he didn't get caught, and he got the business done. Massive winner for Wayne Lorden. And I was really impressed with this horse. This horse just kept finding. And I know it has an entry for the Irish Derby, 4-5. It's probably about the right price. But it looks a horse that's crying out for a mile 6. Looks a ledger horse in my opinion. I think that's where the horse will go. But listen, the Irish Derby's just around the corner. It doesn't look massively competitive, the Irish Derby. But the Epsom one, Lambourne won. I think it was a good performance. The time is good. I thought the second of Charlie Johnson's ran a massive race, Lazy Griff, Christos Sumi, and I think he gave this a lovely ride from Midland Park. That's a massive runner And the one I would take out of the race was a big eye catcher, was the eventual third, Tennessee Stud. Dylan Brown McGonigal and Joseph O'Brien got hampered at the start, got stuck on the inside 2 furlongs out, and that's not really where you want to go. You want to be in the middle or maybe a couple off the rail. Didn't get a clean run, was finishing like a train, just beat 4 lengths. That one's 12-1 for the Irish Derby. I'd give that one another chance. But again, I didn't really think it was a massively messy race. I think it went as expected. I thought Tornado Alert was given a really good ride by Oisin Murphy, but I don't think that one stayed, just weakened inside the final furlong. And I thought Charlie Johnson's other runner, Green Storm, was given a lovely ride by Billy Loughnane. Was only beat 9 lengths, it's a big run. Just looked to get a bit lost 2 furlongs out, and sometimes that can happen at Epsom. So there's a couple in there that you'd want to give another chance away from Epsom, but I think the form looks quite strong. I like the third in the race. I think Lazy Griff ran a massive race, and that could potentially be a ledger horse as well. I think there's going to be a lot of winners coming out of this race, and I think Lambourn, Irish Derby, 4-5 looks about the right price, and the Irish Ledger, or potentially running at Doncaster, looks set for this. Maybe Jan Brueghel and Lambourn will go up against each other. Now, who would you back in that race? Because they both have similar riding styles, they both find plenty, and which one would Ryan Moore ride as well? You've got to think about these things, and if they two go hard, all they do is just find. Picture this, do you think anything could even get into that race if Jan Brueghel and Lambourn go hard? Just a thought, everything is off the cuff, unedited, I'm telling you exactly my thoughts. But yeah, that's my review of the Coronation Cup, the Epsom Oaks, in the Epsom Derby. I think it's top quality racing. I don't think there was any hard luck stories. Calandagan, usual 8-13 favourite, gets beat. Mug Punters, Degenerates are going to cry. Had every chance. Smart ride by Ryan Moore. I think in the Epsom Oaks, I think was the right winner as well. Aidan O'Brien again dominating. I thought the second, Wayne Lorden, was given every chance on that one. Whirl just wasn't good enough. I think Whirl could run a big race next time out as well. And Lambourn was a massive eye catcher. I was really impressed with Lambourn. Improved a ton from Chester as well. I mean, this is a horse that looked like it was in trouble in the Chester Vase before going on to win the Derby. And found plenty. And traded quite big in running as well at Chester. Did look in trouble. And usually when horses are in trouble and going wide at Chester, they're in trouble. And again, I mean, if you look at the form here, Lambourn and Lazy Griff finished first and second in the Vase. So that form's solid. They replicated that in the Derby. So anything in behind here, Convergent of Coral Burke, you take that one. That one's just behind the Derby. First and second. Pinhole of Ralph Beckett. I think that's a good piece of form. The Chester Vase. A lot of horses to take out of Epsom over the last couple of days. But what's everyone else's thoughts? Do you think that the Coronation Cup, the French Raider, was unlucky? Do you think Mickaël Barzalona was at fault? Or do you agree with me that the right horse won on the day and a smart ride by Ryan Moore? Let me know in the comment section about that. But what do you think about the Oaks as well? Do you think anybody can stop Aidan O'Brien from dominating this space? Let me know in the comments. And lastly, the Epsom Derby. Did you back the winner? Lambourn, did you back the winner? What did you think of Delacroix, who was tailed off? Is there any hard luck stories that I didn't mention? Let me know in the comment section, okay? I'm going to be doing more content like this as well, so make sure you subscribe, like, share this video, all right? It really helps my page, and I want to engage with people as well. And as I did mention earlier in this video, my private horse racing service has been absolutely flying. 9-1 winner, 6-1 winner Friday and Saturday. We've had a 10-1 winner and a 15-2 winner earlier in the week. We're absolutely flying in June, all right? And I know a lot of you have subscribed from YouTube to my private horse racing service, but if you haven't, the link is in bio, okay? I've got some serious information lined up this week, serious profits to be made, and you have to ask yourself the question, right? Do you want to win in this game or do you want to lose? You're in or you're out. You can't just sit on the fence, okay? I'm an industry professional, okay? An industry professional within this space, ex-Betfair freelance racing post. I tell it as it is. I provide long-term profit for clients. My service is in very high demand. The premium flagship, £50 a month, and the max info, £95 a month. If you want to get on board, all right, and again, you can't sit on the sidelines forever. No sitting on the fence, all right? Link is in bio. But as I said, before. Let me know in the comment section your thoughts on Friday and Saturday at Epsom. I will be back in touch again. Good luck.